Hi, my name's Johnny, and today we are looking at the Player Mustang Bass from Fender. So, the Mustang is Fender's short-scale offering out of their factory in Mexico. The Player Series replaced their kind of standard made-in-Mexico range. I think came out in 2018 maybe? Started off with just offering a couple of colours, and now they've been releasing limited edition colours for different sites. I was really tempted by the Sherwood green one, and then the shell pink one as well. At the moment, they're offering it in a Fire Mist Gold, which is just... stunning. A bit of a sunburst with a maple neck, which I'm not too big on. I wish it was more of like a tobacco burst. And of course this aged walnut, which is just beautiful. I'm looking at it, staring at me here, and oh, what a stunner. So like I said, this is a short scale, and short scale basically means it looks like a bit like a mini bass.
Mini bass
basically means that the distance from the bridge which basically means the distance from the bridge to the nut is shorter than you would expect normally. Now Squier also offering a Mustang in their classic vibe range at the minute, and that one's a lot more traditional with the smaller splits pickup in the middle and no jazz in the bridge. On the American line, they're doing the small one with the big jazz pickup in the bridge, and I think we can all agree that that one looks horrible, disgusting, no good. Who designed that? Who designed that? Being a shorter scale instrument, the body is a bit smaller on this bass as well. Some people think it makes the pickups look a bit too big in proportion to the body and it looks a bit silly. I agreed at first, but then getting it in the flesh, I think it looks really, really cool. Now, obviously, I have done some modifications to this. Normally it comes with a tortoiseshell pickguard, and I thought this looked okay. I didn't really dig it with the black pickup covers. So, black pickguard with the cream pickups. For me, this just suits the bass a lot more. It's so much more my style now, and I just really want to pick it up and play every time I see it. So, going from the top of the bass, we have got some more vintage style paddles. They're a bit more rounded than normal ones you'd get. I say vintage because you look at the distance in which these poles are, it's kind of more akin to that 50s style. They don't reverse like the vintage ones. They are just your standard clockwise turning tuning to tighten them. Going up the neck, we've got a gorgeous, it's more of a satin finish on the back of this neck than anything gloss. So it's really, so it's not sticky at all. It's really, really comfortable to play. It's got more of a modern kind of C shape to it. So for any beginners out there, or guitar players, this would be a really great bass. Palfero fretboard, I believe. Kind of the go-to instead of rosewood nowadays. Moving up to the control plate then, we've got a master volume, a master tone, and then a toggle switch to switch between the pickups. There's three positions. You've got P bass, P and J, and then just the jazz bass pickup. Standard vintage style bridge, nothing to write home about. Click the link in the description to check out all of the specs in detail, because I'm not going to bore you with all of that now. But how does it sound? Let's have a listen. Oh. Well, naturally, being a PJ configuration, there's loads of different tones in here. But do I really like these pickups? I don't think they're anything amazing. Don't think it sounds as good as like a standard player P bass on that P pickup. Personally, I really like have the P bass pickup on full and then that jazz bridge pickup kind of at 75%. So it's adding a bit more presence, but it's primarily that P bass sound. So I think it's a bit disappointing that you can't blend between the two. It is limited with that three-way toggle. You only get neck, middle, bridge. And so it's not as diverse as it could be. But having said that, there's still loads of different tones in here. Personally, the only settings that I'm going to be using is the P configuration and the PJ configuration. I don't really use single coils in the bridge. I go for more pick playing and aggressiveness. So I like that presence that you get from the P and the P and J. I just wish there was a bit more girthiness from that PJ configuration. It's not quite what I was expecting, but that's due to the shorter scale. One other thing as well is that bridge pickup is quite noisy. In a full band mix or anything like that, I'm not too fussed with that, and if you put a noise gate on there, then you should be alright. Another thing, I have a love-hate with this toggle. When I first got it, I thought, oh yeah, that feels like nice quality. It's a little bit on the wobbly side, and it makes me a little bit nervous how much it kind of pokes out. If I kind of leant it off somewhere or knocked it with my knee or something, I feel like I could easily snap it off. And a few of you have got in touch on Instagram when I posted about this, saying that they've had issues with their it's not a knob. I wish it was a knob so I could say knob. It's a toggle. It's yet to break or do anything like that on me. It's been reliable as far, but it does feel a little bit on the fragile side. So let's get on to how this thing plays. This thing is so much fun to play. The shorter scale means that the string tension is a bit lower naturally, and that's why you see like extended range guitars like your Dingwalls and some Ibanez's, things like that, and normally 5 strings when you've got fan frets to extend the scale, so it's a longer scale length because that means that the string is tighter across the fretboard. Going the other way, making the scale shorter, means that these strings are looser. So much fun to play, and you kind of play it, I don't play it more like a guitar, but I could see why guitarists are a big fan of this bass, as well as it being the shorter scale length that maybe they're a bit more familiar with. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but a few people online I saw saying that the Mustang was originally built for beginners. Whilst I think that, yeah, it's a great stepping stone, I wouldn't personally recommend getting a short scale for your first bass if that's what you're looking for. And if you've got really small hands or you're a bit of a smaller stature, then it might be the right move for you if you cannot get on with a full scale length bass. But if you're starting out, I would recommend getting a full-size bass, to be honest, just so you can get used to it, and then when you come to play something a bit smaller, you'll be even better at shredding and reaching all those notes. And I say that because I've been playing this a lot, and then went back to my other basses, and it felt mammoth, it felt huge, which is weird, because I've never had a short scale before. This is my first one. So back to the lower string tension. I pick it up and I play it differently, and that's what I look for in a bass. Why would I have, like, 3 different P basses that play all the same? They might sound slightly different, but to me, I want basses that inspire me to play differently, and this does just that. You might have seen in my unboxing that I did a few weeks ago, immediately noticed about this bass was the bad fret job. Come on, Fender, what? This doesn't feel like a, what, £500 bass fret job. Every Harley Benton I've played has been 10 times better than this on the frets. It was immediately jagged, even up the top a little bit. They're sprouting out and poking out a little bit. The more you play it, the more you get used to it. Nothing's going to slice you up and make you bleed all over your fretboard, unless that's what you want. It's not ridiculous, but it did jump out to me immediately. Despite all that, I think this is a great bass, and I am loving playing it so far. There it is. Go and bloody check it out. Hit like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this bass and what basses you want to see in the future, in next year. I did a poll on Instagram and loads of you suggested lots of basses, so comment them down below if you want me to review them in 2021, because we're getting closer. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.